Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Ark Mobile Bases. My name's Zach, the gaming husband, and today we're going to be looking more into my Paracer wall, and I've actually furthered this and made an entire Paracer base. So stay tuned and we'll get into it. So one piece of the Paracer wall looks like this. It's only 4 wall segments long. It's based on 3 foundations, 1 ceiling. Then of course you need to build a secondary ceiling out from each of these foundations to hang the walls down. Basically then we go down, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 5, yep, and then up 1. Okay, that leaves us with enough pieces on the Paracer saddle. This is just standard build limit, with 2 ceilings hanging on top here, along with our 2 plant turrets, which I've actually found with the rest of this wall here. One side of about 3 to 4 of these is usually enough to keep out giggers. So that's really, adequate. I wouldn't imagine you need a whole lot more than that, especially if you set them to long range. It should keep you fairly safe from most of the bigger dinos and from Quetzes. So I'm going to do a breakdown of the parts we need. Hit my plant turret's gone away. Poor old truck's about to die. So essentially it's 5x4, so 20 walls, 3 foundations, and 3 ceilings. Actually, sorry, 6x4, so it's 24 walls, 3 foundations, 3 ceilings, the 2 large crop lots, and the Paracer saddle itself. And you basically add that on or multiply that times the number of wall segments that you want. I found a 3x3 is pretty much large enough to encompass the rest of the base that I'm about to show you. So the other part of my Paracer base is my Paracer turret towers. So each of these is fully enclosed, so 1 foundation, and then basically a whole setup with a generator in the top of this room here, on a catwalk there. Now that I run 1 cable up with the outlet here. Ideally probably I'd like to have the generator shifted across a little bit, but the auto turret should keep the electrical outlet safe anyway. I found 6 at different levels is a good number. Each level kind of protects the base of the next, and of course auto turrets will shoot down RPGs and that kind of thing as well. In my setup here I've got 4 of these, and that basically means that I've got 1 for each side of my kind of central base. Usually what I'd do with these guys is add extra beds in there, and perhaps like store all your weaponry and stuff on these, so extra spears and guns and that kind of stuff on the actual Paracer itself. They carry quite a bit, so don't worry too much about the weight. And yeah, once you've got a bed in here, you can basically use it just as a spawn point for when your base is under attack. Now, essentially, the way this is built, 1 foundation, so 7 walls, door frame, door. I think this is 4 pillars. Yeah, 4 pillars up. 3 ceilings, 6 auto turrets, generator, vertical cable, outlet. Okay, add that on top of your Paracer saddle. and you're pretty much good to go. These guys are actually quite effective, I've found, at keeping pretty much all dinos out of the way. You set these to player only, you'd be doing pretty well. If you went for a larger one, I think you could just go enemy dinos. And if you're really inclined to do so, you could add more turrets. I think this is probably adequate, to be honest. But it's really your call. For my base, this is actually the final part. You'll notice there's no defences on this one at all. Basically it's just because the generator costs so much. As far as getting everything wired up, you're looking at a generator, a cable and an outlet just to get electrical equipment on it. You could go for some plant turrets, but really your call. Now in here, this is basically my crafting base. Again, a bed would probably be pretty handy. This one, it's got my smithy and my fab. This is more so I can look, I'll access the Paracer directly, and then access my fab and my smithy from there. Unfortunately, it has to be too high for the smithy, so that's how that went. Again, pretty simple build. 2 foundations at the front, 1 at the back, hatch frame underneath, doorway with a door frame. We're looking at so 13 walls and 4 ceilings on top of the Paracer platform saddle. This is essentially the core of my base. This is where I'd keep anything particularly valuable. And I position this in between my my tower Paracers here. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my entire Paracer base here. You can see it's taken me, I think it's 13 Paracers for the wall. Realistically you probably would have got away with 12 here. I've got 4 Paracer turret towers and 1 is kind of my building base. My crafting base, I should say. So what's that? 13, 17, 18. 18 Paracers, 18 Paracer platform saddles, quite a bit of metal, some plant turrets. I've got my smithies and things in there. Essentially, I think this is, it's somewhat feasible. I don't know that I'd bother building this on any official servers, but on a server that you're just playing around with, where it's high multiplier for these materials and taming and breeding would be great. Getting a few high level Paracers and making up something like this could be a good way for you to kind of keep mobile and keep out of people's way. Terrestrial animals are a little bit harder to build fully mobile bases with, but I think the Paracer is preferable to the Bronto because they can move a little bit quicker. Or at least while you're riding them, they're a little bit quicker. The wall, I think, actually works pretty well for this, and I think you'd have a pretty hard time actually getting into here and breaking this up, especially when you're on a server where server's always on and you've got these wall Paracers all following each other. Basically they're not going to leave formation, they'll just follow each other around in a circle. One thing you'll notice when you're building these mobile bases is you might be able to set up these cables or set up the electrical turrets and things. The cable, the little wires that run from the outlet tend to stay where they were, which is a bit unfortunate. Aesthetically, I kind of like having the cables around. You see here it's even shifting, that one's stuck. There's a few little glitches, and sometimes, say even on our servers that we've been playing on, having something hanging off a platform saddle sometimes results in the ability to teleport. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ark Mobile Bases. If you did, leave a like, get subscribed, and I'll show you some more mobile bases in the next one. If you've got any preferences, let me know in the comments below and we'll work out what I can do in my following videos. Till next time, I'm Zach, the Gaming Husband, and I'll see you next time.